Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm David King,
I'm Fred Cilbrith.
and welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real. Well, Fred, we're talking about, I guess, racism. But before we get into tonight's topic, I want to give a special shout out to Autumn, one of my firefighter friends. The other day, she gave me a ride home. She came all the way back from the firehouse in her car, gave me a ride home because she, didn't want me to roll 5-6 blocks in the cold. Thank you, Autumn, for doing that. It's very high and much appreciated. And she is such a sweetheart. She really is. And I told her that I didn't forget about her. So, Autumn, thank you. Also, my supervisor, Jimmy, McDaya, and Kim, and everybody at the arena, because they're always like, yeah, I didn't forget about you guys neither. And also, we got a couple birthdays coming up.
Well, we got my sister's birthday. Kaylee, happy birthday for me.
Yes, Kaylee, happy birthday from Fred's friend to you. And Zuleika, happy birthday. I know your birthday as well, so happy birthday to you as well. And I hope everything is going good with you in college, and hopefully to hear from you soon. But anyway, getting back to our topic tonight about racism. Now, the whole reason why we decided to talk about this, Fred, because there was a police officer a while back, and there was a whole harassment thing, and I think personally it could have something to do with racism. I mean, what is your take on it?
It could have. It most definitely could have.
I think, we say it all the time. It shouldn't matter about your race. It shouldn't matter about you as a person. Unfortunately, a lot of people today are still stuck in the past time, and can't look at you for who you are. I mean, Fred, you're white, I'm black.
Oh, yeah.
And we're two different races all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
But yet we've been
friends
for I can't even imagine. So I forgot to count. For so long, and we've been partners doing this every week for over a year now, and it never bothered me, it never mattered to me, and it never will matter to me about your race. And you can be blue for all I care. If you want to turn orange, that's cool
and
too.
You can be green.
Clean?
Green.
I thought you said clear or something.
No, sorry.
Well, I can be green. Well, thank you. Be the Incredible Hulk.
Be the Grinch.
Oh, well.
Be Joker's hair color.
But I mean, why do you think that people still have a hard time accepting somebody because of race?
That's a tough question, man. Like, people just don't want to accept people for who they are. I think it's basically, they're going to act a certain way because they're a certain race, or they're going to, basically it all comes down to like how they act and how their perspective or their view on things.
I mean, I think those people are just ignorant.
Yeah.
Because I've met a lot of people in my life of all different nationalities, cultures, or whatever. I have friends that are Jamaican. I have friends that are Spanish. I have friends that are Caucasian. Of course, my family is black, even though I'm not close with them, but they are. And it never bothers me. It's the things that people do that bothers me, like that. Like, oh, I don't want to hang out with you because you're Spanish.
Folks, if you're going to make fun of somebody because of their race, it's like making somebody because they're disabled.
It's similar to that.
There's different disabilities, and as well as there's different races.
But more importantly, you're judging the person without even knowing them.
Yeah.
Just because of what their race may have done in their history. But you got to understand something. We are a part of that, whatever may happen in history because of our nationality, but we are not those people. For a prime example, we all know in American history, slavery occurred. But yet, Fred, you were not a slave owner.
No.
You've never owned a slave, right? You never whipped a guy or nothing like that, right?
Nope.
Exactly. That was your ancestors, not you. I was never a slave. I was never in shackles. I was never put on a ship. I live in a country that is free. I live in a land of opportunity. I live freely to say what I want and look how I want and be who I want to be. That's what I'm getting at, for example. People have this thing that it's like, oh, well, because that happened back then, I have to still be that way now, which doesn't make any sense.
And you wonder why there's war.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can't all just get along, no, because there's always that rotten apple on the tree.
Oh, yeah.
Then goes over and turn the other apple rotten.
All the day.
You ever had one?
Every
you ever
day.
had like one bad piece of fruit?
Yeah.
But it sat there.
Mm-hmm.
Now it made the other fruit bad. Now that piece of fruit's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Then the whole thing is rotten. You got to throw the whole thing out. I think people are similar to vegetables and like fruits. It's like one rotten apple, then it goes over and make another person a rotten apple, then another person a rotten apple, then the whole bag is rotten. You know, and I think we have too many of that going around. Too many people that's judging people for reasons that don't make any sense. You're judging a person just because of how they look, how they talk, how they walk, how they breathe, what they eat, or whatever the case may be. I mean, me and you, we interact with different cultures all the time. You know, not only do we have friends, me and you, like, you know, we went to a Turkish restaurant. You know, we you know, we've done it all. Chinese restaurants, Italian restaurants. And so,
Italians make good pizza, folks.
Oh, thanks. And I'm sure they would appreciate that. But I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm saying. But it doesn't matter to us, and it shouldn't matter to those at home as well about your race, nationality. Like, I personally, I'm African American, like I said. I dated a person who was Hispanic. I fell in love with her. It didn't work out, but best girlfriend I ever had. And yes, she could speak fluent Spanish and English, but it never bothered me about how she looked. It didn't bother me that she could not see. It didn't bother me that she was Spanish and I was black, because I loved her, and like I've said before, and still do, and always will love her for who she is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even with you, me and you have been friends since kids. And we've had our ups and downs. Sometimes I want to choke you. I'm sure we all have a friend like that. But at the same time, it's not because of your race, it's because of what you do. So I think people really got to stop with that. And it's sad because then it promotes kids to grow up to think that that's how they're supposed to be. Like, you didn't like blacks, so now your kids don't like blacks.
Yeah.
And then they have all this negativity.
But then there are people that just don't like a race just because.
But can you?
No, I can't blame them.
Well, not you, but before somebody said they just don't like a race just because, question mark. You know, just because, question mark. Can you give me a reason why?
No.
Exactly, and that's for most people. They can't even give you a reason why. They just don't like them because, question mark. You know. Listen, that's their culture. That's what they grew up. You know, like my friend Dottie, she speaks fluent Spanish and English. There's times when we're hanging out, she gets on the phone, she starts talking English, and then goes to Spanish. I ain't mad at her, but that's her culture. That's her household. That's how they talk. That's them. Yeah. I mean, for me, I never learned to speak another language. I mean, what about you? You know, we're talking about me. I know my neighborhood. We have this whole thing where it's kind of divided sometimes. It's kind of like, well, blacks are better because of this, or Spanish is better because of that, and we don't like whites because of this. When in reality, we're all similar in some capacity. So yes, we all live life a little differently. That is without question. But in reality, we're all the same, because if I stab you, do you not bleed?
Yeah.
If I hit you, do you not feel pain?
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, I think with me, it all comes down to how the person feels and thinks. I mean, folks, honestly, I think we should just get over this whole racism thing and just throw it out the window.
First of all,
because
you would think that it had been over with the abomination of slavery, with the abomination of the civil rights, when you figured that was already done with. Now you're hearing about law officers, you know, beating on a kid because they're one color, or you hear about this person not liking this person, or this person getting a raise because you're that because of your race. You hear that a lot. Oh, well, you know why he got the job.
I think it comes down to,
you know why they hired her.
I think it comes down to the actual person. Like, you pin everybody pins everything against one person because, that happened because their color, their skin, or that's the way they act, so that's why they got where they're at.
Yeah, it's good. It's funny that you said the person.
I think it comes down to that.
No, but I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I'm saying is, it also comes down. It is the person because, for example, one African American black person does something bad to you, unfortunately. Now, that's the only time in your life that you've had a bad incident with an African American person. But now you hate the whole race.
Yeah.
Because of what that one person of that race did to you.
Right.
When in reality, it's not the whole race. I mean, the whole race didn't come and mess you up.
No.
Okay.
It was one person.
It was that one person, but that one person gave you so much negativity, and I think that's so sad because you do have people like that. You have people that have that one bad run-in with a relationship, with a friendship, or whatever, and now it's like, I don't like Italian people because of that.
You're blaming that one race on that one thing, but it also makes them like bitter towards the whole thing.
It makes them bitter towards. It makes them bitter towards them. It makes them bitter towards, like I said before, it makes them bitter in life. Things like that makes you bitter in life because now you feel, oh well, they're only gonna hire that person because he's white.
Yeah.
When that's not the case, maybe that person worked harder than you. Maybe that person made better choices than you. To me, race has nothing to do with, if you're a kid, race has nothing to do about you playing with other kids because you're all kids. Mm-hmm. Race has nothing to do about work because we're all here with a common goal to work. And, when you talk about race, my job, like I was, Kim, Migdalia, Kim is Caucasian, Migdalia is Hispanic, and Jimmy's Hispanic, and I'm African American, but they never look at me because of my race. They look at me for the same way I look at them. They're employees, I'm employees. We all work together. We are a team. A lot of times at my job, we're more like a family than we are one race, two race, three race,
I think two things contribute towards racism. One, if you're brought up this way, I'm not knocking for anybody who is, but they're the way the family is. And two, like we've always said it, media.
Yeah. We said it before. Here we go again, social media, because media can twist the human brain.
Yeah, it can.
And it really does. It twists the human, okay, we all know what happened, unfortunately, with a tragedy on September 11th of 2001.
Right.
But that don't mean that the whole race of the Arabic race is terrorists.
No.
But now, hold on. But you have anybody, and you see this all the time. Anybody sees somebody that's an Arabic race, they assume that they're terrorists. Like, oh man, I hope he's not sitting over here. That's a terrorist. They say, oh, that's a terrorist. He gets on the plane. He got he got his turban, I believe they call it, under his head.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's a terrorist. Just because of one incident that happened, now they blame the entire race, which is not right.
Right. I've met Arabic people and some of the Middle Eastern people. Sorry to say that.
No, you're right. Middle Eastern.
But some of them are really, really hospitable, which you don't find.
I've met a lot of them. They're very nice people. Like I said, I don't believe that there is a such thing as a bad race. I believe that there is good in everybody, but I believe that you do have those rotten apples that just hang around the tree because they got nothing better to do, because they choose not to want to work, they choose to want to hate, and then they have kids and teach them to hate on other kids for no apparent reason because they have nothing better to do with their life. And like you said about war, that's why the world is in the shape that it's in, because nobody can't get along and accept everybody for who they are. You have to judge them by what they look like.
But I think it also comes down to one other thing, the one thing that we haven't talked about yet. I'm envious of you because you have something I want.
What, dark skin?
No, but I'm just saying.
You get a tan. If you sit on the sun, you too could be like me.
Shut up. I think it comes down to other people envying other people because of what they have or they don't have.
But it goes right back to what I just said. It's about...
But that contributes to racism, is my point.
It does.
It's to some extent,
I know.
not all extent.
No, to some extent you're right. But also, it's like I said, it's about how hard you work. I said it before. You get what you put in. It doesn't matter your race. If you are lazy, I don't care if you're Arabic, I don't care if you're Italian, I don't care if you're Hispanic, then you will go nowhere. But if you work hard, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're white, then you will be successful. There's no such thing as like, okay, well, because my race, I can't become something. I don't see how that's possible. You don't become nothing because you choose not to be nothing. Yeah. And then you want to blame everybody else for your faults. Like me and you, we can sit here and we can play the blame game. We can blame the whole world because we have a disability. But we're not. We're out here tonight. We're on TV each and every week because we choose to get out and we choose to do it. Mm-hmm. But we're not. But that is working hard is not about race. You have every race has their lazy people. Every race has their ambitious people. But for those people that are lazy, you reap what you sow. You want to do nothing, so you will get nothing. If you work hard, it may take a while sometimes, but you will see the results. Okay, it's like a person who hits the gym. If you hit the gym and you may come in, and I'm not putting anybody down who may be trying to lose weight, but if you're in the gym and you're trying to lose weight, you come in heavy and you're trying to get to that muscular figure, and you put a lot of work, you'll get there. It's not going to come overnight. You can't hit the gym one time and say, yeah, I'm in shape. But if you keep at it, you will get there. But if you only go to the gym once a year and then talk about I'm out of shape, but I've been going to the gym, the gym just not working for me. No, it's not the gym, it's you. People say, oh, I don't want to go there no more. It doesn't do anything for me. No, you don't do anything for you. You envy me, like I told you 1,000 times, Fred, on camera, off camera. I'm not doing anything that you or anybody out there can do.
Yeah, true.
That's because I should envy you. You're a college student.
You're getting there.
But you're not doing anything that I can do.
Yeah.
It's that we have our own faults, our own flaws, and our own negativity or whatever reason that we put that on ourselves.
Yeah, but it's up to the person, aka us, to turn the flaws into something positive. Like you always say, turn negative into positive. Turn the flaws into something that you could actually use.
Listen, life is full of negativity.
Yeah.
But
it's how you perceive it.
Yes, it is how you perceive it. And it's about if you let that get to you, you can't let those people who think negatively of you get to you. I've said it 1,000 times. You can be negative to me and I'll still be nice to you because I am a strong believer in you can kill a person with kindness. Because if you're mean to me but I still have the heart to be nice to you, that says a lot about me as a person. If I done something wrong and I'm going out my way to apologize, to make peace with you, and you can't even make peace with me, then what does that say about me and what does that say about you? I think it takes a bigger person to be nicer to somebody than it does to be mean to somebody. Because anybody can be mean at anybody any given time. Mm-hmm. But to have the heart to say I'm sorry, to have the heart to say I care, or to do something to show that you care, takes a bigger person and a bigger human being to do in general.
Right.
So I never really feel like, oh, it's just the person. I never feel it's the race. I feel it's the person. They don't want to do nothing. They want to discriminate. They want to hate, but that's what they do. And they're only hating because something's going on in their life that they don't like, or they're choosing not to do nothing in their life. But hey, folks, for those people and watching the show and be like, hey, well, guess what? That's your fault. But don't put that on everybody else. And certainly don't put that on everybody else because of what their race is and what they look like and what they walk like and what they eat.
Some people I know when you're born disabled, you can't help it because you're born with it.
Right.
So don't pick, folks, don't pick on somebody because they're disabled. Let them, help them accept it.
Well, I mean, this is going far on beyond just a disability. Then we're talking about a worldwide spread. Like it's racism is like the plague.
Yeah.
You know, it spreads,
Right.
and you don't even know why. It just spreads.
Right.
But just like, you know, well, you know, you eliminate the plague by, you know, being clean and getting rid of the rats. Well, you get rid of the racism by joining together and not paying attention to those people who got nothing better to do. You join together with people you surround yourself with people that want to do stuff with themselves.
Right.
You do not surround yourself with negativity because negativity brings more negativity.
Right.
More negative don't bring no positive. If you hang out with everybody that's putting you down, sooner or later your self-esteem, I don't care how high of a self-esteem, but if you're hanging out with everybody with low self-esteem, your self-esteem will be gone. Because they're going to keep bringing you down. But if you hang out with people that have high self-esteem and are doing something with their life, I don't care if you came in the game with no self-esteem. I guarantee you'll have some self-esteem because you'll say, if they can do it, I can do it. Or, hey, if they can do it, why don't I try to do it? But they give you some self-esteem. But if you keep hanging out with this guy over here, forget it. But once again, you will end up reaping what you sowed. You chose to hang around negative, so you're getting negative.
But it's like my dad says all the time. If you have 7 true friends before you die, you are a lucky man.
Yeah, you are. But I feel you ain't got to have one friend before you die. If you are around people that are a positive influence in your life, and I'll be honest, like everybody knows, I didn't have much family and et cetera growing up and all that other stuff.
Right.
But I have grown up around positive people, like like Jimmy and Kim, like I was saying, like Autumn. She is always so positive. She lights up my day every time she works at my job. Just because seeing her and talking to her, she's gonna be polite. She's gonna be nice. You know, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know, that goes a very, very long way. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if she wasn't married, I'd be all for it. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But you know, when it comes to me, you really do. You know, I have positive people across the board. A guy at my job named Joe Seapot. He's like a grandfather to me. He's like 80 years old, and he's like, you know, he's always telling me positive stuff. And he's white. But we don't look at each other for that. We work together. I look at him more of a grandfather, motivator, positive kind of thing, you know. Or Waverly, you know, who he had a stroke, and he turned that negative of being paralyzed on one side, and now he's working. And then they told him he'll never work again. And me and him are the best of friends. We're next door neighbors, you know. But once again, that's because I chose not to hang around with negativity. That's why I guess that's why I'm so positive. And so are you. You hang around with positive people. I guess myself is one of them.
You're the head. You are, man.
Your dad, and whoever else, your family, your mom, whoever else positive in your life, you know. People just got to, you know, you can't hang around negative because negative will get more negative.
Yeah.
But if you hang around positive, it will get positive.
And don't, folks, you're your own worst enemy. I've done this myself. I brought myself down because of things I've done in my life. But if you're able to look at yourself and find that one thing that you're good at, stick with it. Because it will help you.
Well, besides even finding out what you're good at, you know, like you just said, look at, you know, not to steal a line from Michael Jackson, but if you look at the man in the mirror, that's what it starts with. Like the song did say, that's what it starts with. And that is very true. It starts with that person in the mirror because the person in the mirror is you. And you can't.
But if you look at that person.
You can't say racism has to change, but you still being racist.
Yeah. But if you look at that person in the mirror and be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be this person, then you can always change it. My father has always told me, it's never too late to change yourself.
Every day you wake up, there's a chance. You always got a second chance. If you woke up today, you got another chance Because guess what? It ain't over until it's over. When you don't wake up,
true.
when you don't wake up, that's when it's over. But as long as you're waking up, then today's a new day and it's a new start and a new beginning every day. I don't care if your new start is getting a new job, or your new start is moving to a new place, or your new start is making peace with that old friend, or your new start is just hanging around more better people. But it's a new start because it's a new day. You know, and if anybody's like, oh, you're right, it's not you're right. You know, you can turn some stuff into a positive. Like, hey, I don't got cable, so what's positive? Well, I can buy a DVD. You know, I can still watch. I can still do the goal, right? Of watching television, right? I'm not watching exactly what I want to watch, but I can watch the television. You know, that's my take. You know, I'm grateful that I have positive people in my life.
Yeah.
Because not having my mother, not having a family is a negative. But since I got all these people who kind of adopt me in a way, that gave me a whole new lease on life in a way.
You know, I'm grateful that I have the family that I have. My dad, he works 40 hours a week and comes home and deals with us kids all day. So I'm very grateful that I have my father and my family.
And, you know, by him working hard is a positive.
Yeah.
He's showing you what hard work
does pay off.
Well, it pays, yeah. And you too one day could have this. But he's trying to show you I didn't get it by being negative, or I didn't get it by just sitting there. Got it because I'm positive about myself and I'm positive about working hard. You know, and I think that's a good message for not just you, but that's a message for, you know, all young kids and even adults.
Yeah.
You're going to get what you put in, and hard work does pay off. It may not seem like it, folks, at the beginning, but it truly does. Well, Fred, we're at that part in the show where we're coming down to the end. So, as usual, any last words you'd like to say about this topic today?
Well, people have to be more accepting of other people, regardless of race, of what you have, what you don't have. Be the person's friend and try to get to know them, because you don't know what they're like until you take the first step.
Very well said. For me, I would say love, you treat people how you want to be treated. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, no matter what their race is. With that said, I'm David King.
I'm Fred Cilbrith.
Thank you for watching and have a good night.
See you.